Namaskar. Prayers for your and your family members' safety and health. Hope you're all very fine. This is the first video lesson related to Poem 1 of Unit 1, Standard 9th English, Book Beehive. The name of the poem is The Road Not Taken. It is written by Robert Frost. Let us read the introduction given for the poem. This well-known poem is about making choices and the choices that shape us. Robert Frost is an American poet who writes simply but insightfully about common ordinary experiences. In this poem also, a very simple experience of walking through the jungle and coming to a juncture where the road diverges into two different directions, and the one traveler, the lone traveler, has to take a decision. There is no help, there is nobody to guide him, there is no signboard, there is no milestone, there is no such indication which would help the traveler to take the decision which side to go, left side or the right side. It is only the intuition, it is only that decision of self and then taking the responsibility of the choice that the traveler has to decide which side to go. So this very simple experience the poet has presented in this poem. Making choices is a part of our life. There are many occasions in our life also where we have to choose between the two. In fact, at times we have more than two choices, and then we have to take one decision, we have to make one choice. And then that particular decision will shape the future. If the decision is related to simple matters, it does not affect so greatly. But if it is about choosing something for the life or for a longer part of our life, then it has to be taken very carefully. But then our decision is going to matter so much in our life. Say for example, after passing 10th standard, the student has to choose either from science stream or commerce stream. And when you go to science stream, maths or bio. So here is one such example that we have to make a choice, and this choice is going to influence our life. So this poem has a universal appeal. It can be applied to our life also. Let us see what Robert Frost has to say. Before the explanation of the poem, let me read the poem for you. I will recite the poem, listen to it, and then we will understand the poem stanza by stanza. Here is the poem for you. The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Poet Robert Frost. The road not taken. Let us try to understand this poem and try to connect it with our life. Imagine you, as a traveler, are walking through this jungle. You have walked for a long time, and till now, it was easy for you to move ahead as the road was single, going in one direction. But you come to this point where the road bifurcated into two. It diverged into two different roads in two different directions, left and right. And now you look around trying to find somebody to help you. You try to find out if there is any signboard there, but you don't find any traveler or you don't find any signboard. Now you are confused. You don't have even your mobile phone with you, so you cannot access the Google Maps. Now, what to do? So, this is the condition that we are shown in the first stanza. The poet writes that when he was traveling through one forest, at one point of time, two roads diverged. Diverge means going in the opposite direction. And he says that he was alone, lone traveler. And he also tries to find out any signs, any person around if there was any, but there was nobody around. So, what to do? So, this particular condition is shown in stanza 1. Both the roads were there in front of him. He tried to look till the point in the horizon where he could see the roads, but he could not look after a particular distance. He writes that both the roads bent in the undergrowth. So this also tells us the helplessness. Even the roads at a particular distance are not visible. So what to do? He keeps on thinking for a certain point of time and tries to analyze which could be taken, which road could be taken. Then he looked at the first one and then the second one. One difference that he finds is that one road is grassy. That means not many travelers have traveled on that road, and therefore he writes the road wanted wear. On both the roads, travelers had traveled, but one road was traveled more, second less. So in the third stanza, the first line tells, and both that morning equally lay in front of the eyes of the poet, and there was nobody who had turned back. So he decides that let me keep the first road where so many travelers had traveled for some other day. Maybe I will return back here and take that road, and let me try out the road which was grassy. That means he chooses such a road where travelers have gone less. Now, if we try to analyze the mind of the poet, we come to know that he has taken a challenging road. Why so? He believes that there will be lesser travelers ahead. Maybe there will be no travelers that he may meet as he takes the second road. But then he wants to take this challenge. He wants to travel the less traveled road. And that way, this shows that he is courageous. He determines to choose a road which is less traveled. He keeps the first road for some other day. But he also is sure that life will unfold in such a way that he may not be able to come back to the same point. Because no, one way would lead to another and yet another. So he may not be able to come back to this place to try the first one, but that is fine. He wants to move ahead. So he takes this decision of traveling the road which is less traveled, the second road. After the decision is taken, the poet, that is a traveler, says, I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. So these lines tell us that someday, when his children or maybe his grandchildren would be asking him about his experiences in life, he can tell this to them with a sigh. Now, this sigh could be a sigh of relief, a sigh of happiness, or it can be a regret. Anything can happen in life. Life is uncertain. The decision that he has taken can make him successful, and it is also possible that the decision may be a wrong decision. But whatever it is his decision. So, after so many years, ages and ages hence, when somebody asks him, maybe his children or grandchildren or somebody, he can tell this with a sigh that it was his decision that made all the difference in his life. Now, this difference could be a positive difference. Life could be successful, or the life could be unsuccessful. His decision may be wrong. But whatever the experience, whatever the decision and hence for his life, he says that he would be responsible for that. And therefore, he stresses I, the personal pronoun I. He writes I, and then one more time I. I took the decision. And that has made all the difference in life. So this poem is about making a choice. If two options are given to you, which one to choose? The choice that one makes also tells about the character of that person. In this case, the traveler has to choose one of the two roads, and he chooses the road which is less traveled. He did not take the road where many travelers had gone further, many travelers had traveled. So the road not taken or the road taken, his decision is going to matter in his life. Whichever road he takes, this road, this choice is going to give direction to the life. It is going to shape the life. So we learn through this poem that we have to make a choice, and our choice decides our character. It decides the quality of our life. It decides how we think. In this case, we know that this traveler is a very courageous one. He chooses the road with lot many challenges. He chooses the road where he will have to take many decisions even in future, because there may not be anybody to help him. So we come to know that this poet is a courageous person. This traveler is a courageous one. He takes responsibility of his decision. That was the poem. Hope you have understood the poem. We end the video session here. Thank you. God bless you. May peace be with you.